calendar
So we
year.
have nothing to
We
lose.
have nothing to lose. That's correct.
That's why we're eating French fries.
Yeah, exactly.
We went from quality tank talks to just eating food, and shooting the breeze.
Shooting the breeze and shoveling French fries in our face. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tank Talks. My name is Keith.
I'm Brandon.
And this is our 200 subscriber special. You may think, 200 subscribers? That's a small milestone. Do you think that?
It is not a small milestone.
Not to us, it's not. Because 200 is the number of years since 1818.
And it's the number of wins that Richard Petty got.
Really?
Yep.
That's way better statistic than mine that I was just pulling right out of my butt. So, we decided that we wanted to do 200 of something to celebrate this momentous occasion, which
We thought slices of pizza.
Yes.
That didn't work out.
Well, we already filmed the 200 slices of pizza 10 minutes ago, and so we're a little full from that.
A lot of vomit.
Yeah, we actually didn't do that. But, we do have 200 French fries, which is not a lot. Really not that much. But
What if we did 200 dips of something into the sauces?
Yeah.
That would have been weird.
Just we had 200 individual things into one sauce. That would be tough. I wish we had 200. We could have all 200 fries, but we could have a different person deliver each one to us. I think that would be
Just
great.
different guests.
Yeah.
You start making up people. Remember
Yeah.
when Jimmy was on there?
Jimmy. So we have some Coca-Cola,
Mhm.
as is right with our. We have McDonald's French fries on this side, Hardee's or Carl's Jr. depending upon where you're watching from, and Burger King in the middle.
So that's how you did it. I thought it was all mixed in.
Nope, these are you got them in the sections here. So we're just gonna eat French fries and talk about Tank Media.
You know, I'm glad we got the Coke on here because I was thinking on the way over here that the only thing that you can drink when you're eating French fries is Coke or
You're right.
milkshakes. So I was just thinking if someone said, "Hey, here's a large thing of fries and here's an extra large Sprite,"
Right.
it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah. The Coke is the only option. Milkshake would have been good, but after the 200 French fries, I'm feeling like my arteries are going to be doing enough. I'm already upset with how chunky I am. We're going to push the limit with these French fries.
What about water with French fries? I realize I do that a lot, but is that right?
Is something wrong with it?
Is there something right with it?
I don't think there's anything right about. I mean, I don't think there's anything particularly right except for your health.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't think anybody says like the only thing to have with French fries is water. Do you say that? Here's a question. We're gonna start doing this more. If you're watching, comment your favorite beverage to have with a French fry.
It can all be Coke and milkshakes.
That's true. You're right. Do you want to ask them about the cat thing while we talk about?
I thought
French
that's a
fries?
whole nother episode.
You're probably right. Don't worry about it. Future episode, you're going to get to do something very important in Brandon's life.
Mm-hmm.
If you decide.
So, I think what makes YouTube getting 200 subscribers so
Mhm.
good is that, like, we're dealing with Facebook. A lot of our stuff, it comes from friends. So I
Right.
would say that a lot of our likes come from people that I wouldn't necessarily say pity likes. I think there's always pity likes because I know there's
always
people.
pretty likes.
There's people that come to me and they're like, "Hey, like my page," and I'm
Right.
like they're making their own crossword puzzles. And I'm like, I don't like crossword puzzles, but I
Yeah.
like it just to be nice.
Right.
But a lot of it's people that we know who might think like, "Oh, well, I think it's funny," but it's mostly like we're
wanna
doing
support
it,
us.
or like they're our friends and they're like, "If I like this, then I might be in their videos."
Right. Yeah.
That's the only reason why Miranda comments or likes anything we do.
That's so sad the way the dog wants a French fry. All right. Well, I don't want to feed her one. Then she thinks she can have more.
Is it also said how she's growling?
Yeah, it's that. Be quiet. Be quiet, booty. Be quiet, you bad dog.
But with YouTube, you're dealing with a lot of people who aren't your friends.
Mm-hmm. Booty, get down. You bothering the video.
Maybe she just wants to lick all the ketchup.
You can't have the ketchup, Booty. You can't have it. But you're right. What you're saying about YouTube is definitely correct. On YouTube, most of our friends watch on YouTube. If we're getting pity likes, they're likely coming from, usually most of our friends watch on Facebook. If we're getting the pity likes, those are probably coming from Facebook.
Like, I think as far as views, if we get 100 views on YouTube, I have the same excitement as if we get 4,000 on Facebook. I feel like it's just easier to get it on Facebook.
I kind of agree with you there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the video real quick, and then Mia's going to go outside and play for a little while. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
But I don't want you to eat those off camera, so you got to eat those real quick before I cut the video. You better hurry up. Better hurry up. Take me in network. Come back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Sorry about that. We love the dog. I certainly love my dog. But sometimes she can be a little much when you're trying to record something. But the point you're making is right. The YouTube, for me, certainly, and now I know as well for you, they hold more value. A YouTube view holds more value than a Facebook view for me. Especially because Facebook views autoplay. The videos we post on Facebook, they play when you scroll past them, whether you want them to or not. And if you let it go for 3 seconds, boom, that's a view. So you may hate us. You're giving us views.
Maybe. That's why a lot of our views are just our enemies.
Yep. I can't tell you how many times we've gotten comments saying, I would have gotten away with it if... Got some buffalo sauce on my face. I'm not wiping on my shirt. I don't have any napkins. Wiping on my face. I'm like a nasty boy.
You know the thing about what do you call this? We've reached
YouTube.
200 or no
Subscribers.
This is like a
milestone.
Milestone. That's what
There
I'm
we
thinking
go.
of. Like whenever you reach one, you enjoy it, but then right afterwards you realize that there's so much more.
Oh.
It's like if you date someone and like you date for like a year, and then you get engaged and you're like, oh, it's a milestone. Then you realize I'm not married.
Right.
Then you get married and you realize this is really cool. Then you realize I've been married for a day. Then
Right.
you're married for a year. And then you're like, oh no, 5. And then like the day after you're like, there's just been 5 years, and it keeps going.
You're
So
right.
I feel like even if you're married for like 50 years, once you get to like the next year, you're like, it's 51st. Like it's
Right.
not impressive to like, get to like 55, 60 years or whatever.
No,
And
it does leave you.
I feel the same way with views, because we get videos that, like I said earlier, will get 100 views, but then I think, well, it's not 1,000. Or if it's 1,000, then you think, oh, well,
Well, I think that also comes with the idea that we know that this is a very small outfit, and we know that right now, this is just a glorified hobby for us. This is something we like to do. We ain't making money. We're doing it because we like making stuff, and we like making stuff for you and making you laugh.
You know who's making money, though?
Who?
Is that person who's paid $700 off of our God's Not
That's
Dead
right.
video.
That's right. Whoever sings that song,
The fight song?
yeah. They got the ads on our God's Not Dead video.
So if you're watching that, if you could send us
Undo
half that, we
Yeah.
would really appreciate that.
You know we could do it $350. That's a drop in the bucket for you. We could do a lot with $350.
We could go to Charlotte Speedway, and we could document going to a race there.
Of course.
We could go to Dollar Tree. We could buy 300-something items
You're right.
and review them.
What we're talking about is the fact that we don't... YouTube has also changed it to where we can no longer monetize our videos. Until we get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in the calendar
So we
year.
have nothing to
We
lose.
have nothing to lose. That's correct.
That's why we're eating french
But-
fries.
Yeah, exactly.
We went from quality tank talks to just eating food and
shoveling our
shooting the breeze.
shooting the breeze and shoveling French fries in our face. This is just us depression eating and trying to hide it with a video.
From this point on, it's just going to be straight eating and cringe.
Eating and cringy stuff. Oh boy. I don't know how I would produce something cringy.
I think you wouldn't realize it.
That's what I'm saying. I think one of the tenets of cringiness is that you don't realize that you are being cringy. But maybe this is cringy. Maybe somebody's looking at this like, they're talking about 200 subscribers. Oh no. Oh, it's too much. I hope not.
That's why you have to be careful that you appreciate it, but it's also not like
Yeah.
you think that you're better than people.
Of course, we would like to iterate and make it clear that we know 200 subscribers is not a lot in the grand scheme of YouTube. But we've been working at this for a long time, like 2 years. And so it's a milestone for us. Anytime we cross another 100, we didn't celebrate at 150. And so we probably won't celebrate again until maybe 500.
Maybe 1,000.
1,000. If you get us there quick enough, you lazy people, God, tell your friends if you're watching this thing.
What will we do 1,000 of?
I guess it doesn't always have to be eating. If we do 1,000 something like this, my diet is already messed up. But you may be looking at me thinking, there's no way that fatty's on a diet.
You can really tell the difference between the Hardy fries, the Burger King, and McDonald's fries.
Oh yeah, you can. You definitely can.
I went to the point to where I think like McDonald's, Wendy's, or Chick-fil-A. I'd throw Bojangles in there too.
They got some good fries.
Bojangles or Wednesdays would be right there, like the third choice.
McDonald's are very good. I tell you what, I almost couldn't breathe. I had so much French fry fumes in my car on the way home. I almost passed out. So Brandon, tell me. Now we're talking about YouTube, talking about this wonderful milestone.
Mm-hmm.
What drives you? What's driving you to create? Certainly in the money.
You know, I was thinking this past week about how it's almost like a blessing in disguise because I feel like when you don't have a lot of like money or like fame or recognition you're getting from something, then you find out how much you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because I think there's stuff that I've done before that I enjoyed it, but then once I realized that I couldn't make a lot of money off of it, or that other people wouldn't think that it was cool, like I kind of just dropped it. But I think with this, I just like there's people that I know that every week they enjoy when our videos come up. Like they get really happy, and like friends asking them to be in the videos, they get really excited, and it's just
we
it's
appreciate
really cool.
you out there too if you're watching.
Because I think there's a lot of bonding that goes on when you work with people like that.
For all of y'all, definitely.
Just thinking how many people you've gotten to see. Each week you get to see people. Haven't met half the people.
It seems like each week I meet a new person on my computer screen that's now part of my media enterprise. And that's fine by me.
I think it's cool too because you don't like you get to use so much creativity.
Yeah.
So whether it's you doing like your games, or it's like me writing something over here, it's just you don't have to sit there and think, oh, that's interesting. Someone else should do that. Then you get to sit down and say, oh, I think that's funny. I want to do that. I think that's what's really cool about YouTube is that it shoots us in the foot that there's so many people on YouTube.
Of course.
Which I'm sure that there'd be other people that are saying that they're losing 30 views a week, like to people like us.
We're losing those.
So I'm sure we're the people that other people hate.
We're losing that 1 penny of ad revenue to those boys down at Tank Media.
But I think that it's just cool that if you can be anyone out there, and if you want to talk about like fireplaces, you can do that. Like if you're someone,
we have a series slated for that in March. Fireplace series. I'm sorry.
But you can be anyone out there and have something you want. Like it doesn't mean that everyone should be on there, because I think a lot of times you can see that on Facebook post, and if you look in the comment section, that I don't think you should be talking about that.
Some people's opinions need to stay inside.
All you did was see that your celebrity said this, or your favorite news channel said this.
Right.
So now you believe that. But I think it's cool that people get to, like, you don't have to take this idea and go, like, ship it off to somewhere. You can just be in your living room.
Exactly.
Or in your friend's living room.
That's right. What's nice about my house is that the whole house is a living room.
How do you answer that question, Keith?
What keeps me going? I think about it a lot. And there's sometimes that I get a little discouraged at the amount of attention we get. Because as with anyone who makes things, you usually tend to think, that's pretty good. And if you have a healthy view about it, you can usually see like, hey, that's pretty good. Definitely needs some work, but that's pretty good. And that's how I feel about our content and how it's grown over the years. So a lot of what we've done impresses me. And I wish that more people notice that. So I can get discouraged, but I just have, the more I think about it, the more I just have this insatiable desire to create things. Like if I wasn't making YouTube videos, I'd be doing something. I'm most well equipped to make YouTube videos because I have some computer skills or whatever, and we've learned a lot about camera work and everything else, which is hopefully obvious as our videos have gone on into the future. But I do have this insatiable desire, this compulsion to make things. I'm always in the morning. You can ask Lizzie. She's already said it on the show last week that she does not care for when I make up songs in the morning while she's trying to get ready. But I just can't help it. I just like to make things. Mm-hmm. And then I couple that with another insatiable desire to make people laugh. I want to make people laugh. I want to make people smile. I really enjoy the only good days I have at work are the ones where I think that I've made people like laugh a lot. Mm-hmm. Like I don't really care if I've done my job well. I try to do my job well, but like I don't come home and tell Lizzie about the retirement issue that I figured out. But I will tell her about something funny I came up with at work. Mm-hmm. So that also coupled with the fact that you're my best buddy and we get to make stuff together. If I was doing it by myself, I would feel a lot worse about it. So those three things: insatiable desire to create, to make people laugh, and to hang out with your buddies. That's what keeps me going.
Keith, earlier you told me that you had a story about work. Was that your story about work?
No, certainly not. The story about work was about kind of a guy that's a little bit wacky. Mm-hmm. I don't really want to poke fun at him on the internet, but I mean, I can tell it. It just doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about.
It's up to you, Keith. We're sitting here eating French fries.
That's right.
It's just maybe between you and that camera.
And the viewers. Maybe I'll tell a short version. Mm-hmm. It's just stupid. It's just like one of those moments. It's like a whole Seinfeld episode wrapped up into one day. So I'm on this thing in work called the Office Fund, mm-hmm. which everybody pays into it yearly. And they're in charge of, like, there are 2 luncheons or whatever. So the committee's in charge of that. So it's people who plan out, like, the gatherings and get-togethers in the office. It's pretty much the party planning committee mm-hmm.
from
the office. But another thing they do is they make sure the break room is cleaned. And so every other Friday, we go up to the break room, we check the refrigerator. If something is expired or has been in there for a real, real long time, we throw it out. If mm-hmm. it's gross. Like if it's your Tupperware edition, it's been there a year and a half. Sorry, you lost it. You obviously don't care about it because you left it there for a year. But anyway.
What if they're fermenting wine in the refrigerator?
Well, that's not the place for that. Your work refrigerator is not a storage unit. That's not what that's for. Mm-hmm. It's for day use. So apparently somebody keeps condiments up there. A mm-hmm. ranch, ketchup, something. But as you know, condiments expire. And so we were up there cleaning. My boss and a few other folks were up there cleaning.
Real fast. Is it like the containers, or they're like throwing away their like spare little packets?
I'm talking like big, like a big bottle of ranch.
Okay.
And we discovered that this bottle of ranch, we'll just say it was ranch. I didn't actually see what it was. But it was a bottle.
Maybe it was ketchup, but it was so old that it looked like ranch. This
bottle of ranch is expired by several months that we're cleaning now. So my boss, who will remain nameless, throws it away. Right? Mm-hmm. It's expired. You don't need to be inspired stuff. Unless you think that's when it gets good. But then you're in the work refrigerator, sir. Mm-hmm. Now I'd like to note, there was no identifying markings. There was no identifying anything on the bottle. You could just assume that this bottle of ranch came with the fridge. Mm-hmm. If you need it, use it. That's what it looked like. Not so, my friends. Because I came downstairs and I worked with a friend. And I told her, she was like, how did the cleanup go? And I said, we threw this away. And she said, you're in trouble. That's so-and-so's. And I said, I'm in trouble. You're yanking my chain. Doesn't make any sense. She's like, oh no. So-and-so gets very, very upset about the condiments. So, I just blew it off. I thought, like any other rational human being, no one is going to be upset about these condiments. They're expired. It's like throwing away garbage. Like he left an old can, like a empty can in the corner of his office. He's going to get mad at you for throwing it away. Well, I was wrong. Because later on, this person he was told to have been talking about this thing. He was asking around, who was cleaning up the break room? Who's cleaning up the break room? So finally, one of our ladies on the team cracks. She says, "Fine!" It was Keith's the boss name here. He gets very upset. And he says, that you had no right to throw those away, yada, yada, yada. Those are my condiments. I'm very upset. Essentially. Which makes me laugh. Like, there's nothing I can do at that comment but laugh. He didn't say it to me, luckily. Because that's what I was asking my boss. My boss was like, I'm going to have to confront this guy about this thing and talk to him. And I'm thinking, like, how on earth are you going to have this conversation about condiments that were expired without giggling? There's no way. So that's, he's upset. Then Monday, so we clean it on a Friday. Monday, I go to the break room. I see a Walmart bag full of what appears to be condiments. And this time on it, it's tied in like 3 knots, and on the outside of it, it says, in all caps, a Sharpie written and like angrily, "Do not throw away." And it's just one of those things that was like, it's the most bizarre place that you're gonna like, the most bizarre hill you're gonna die on. And to make it even funnier is that one of the guys in the office fund, to figure out what's been left for a long time, he'll take a picture of the refrigerator, and so then 2 weeks from now he can compare that to what it looks like now and see how long stuff has been there.
Yeah.
And so whenever he told this guy, the condiment man, whenever he told him that that was his method, and he knew they'd been in there for a long time, he freaked out about that. He was like, "You're invading my privacy, taking pictures of the refrigerator." Like, dude, it's your work fridge. Just bring your ranch and then take it home. Bring a lunchbox.
I think that, number one, that ranch is not that expensive.
Exactly.
So even if they threw it away and it was questionable, then you're out $2 at the most.
Okay, I wasn't going to bring this into it, but he also works in the higher salary part of the hallway. I know he makes probably like 3 or 4 times what I make.
So like you have that, number one. Number two,
this is the last prize.
It'd be different if, because I know I've been known to throw away stuff that like on the day that it expires.
Yeah.
So I could understand someone being annoyed and them saying, "Oh, well, you got a little bit of a shelf life on there." But if it's months out, then it's like,
right. But even if it's the day after expiration, you do have somewhat of a right to toss.
Yeah.
Because you buy that stuff way ahead of time. It's not like milk you buy it 30 days and it expires. Like, this is it.
And then third, like you said, it's the community fridge. So this isn't you going to his mini fridge at his desk or his house and saying, "You can't do this." This is you saying this is if it goes in there, like you have you have that work day, and then it becomes community. So the day that it's left
unless it's like in your purse, maybe if it has your name on it, that doesn't happen. But yeah, if you bring an unnamed item,
well, see, even that I don't think that he could just bring. I don't think you could bring lunch meat there and just put Keith on there, and that just be your lunch meat.
Oh yeah, you're taking up prime real estate.
Yeah. Now I think that if you had, say you had a condition where you had to have something, like every day you had to have.
I've got to have my ranch shot at 12:30.
Then it makes sense. Okay, that's your thing. But to me, if it's like the refrigerator at our apartment. Like, if we have a huge event, sometimes they'll put food in there. So the moment it goes in there, that's anybody's.
Right.
And a lot of times they'll do that with drinks, too. But there's been times I've went over there and I've seen, 2 boxes of pizza in there. Or I'll see, maybe something else random. Or, a dessert in there. And I think, well, was this an event? Or is this someone's? So I always think, well, I just saw this. This is probably someone's. Now, if I go the next day and it's still in there, then...
That's mine.
That's everyone's.
Yeah. I like it's one of those things where we can think about it and talk about it till we're blue in the face, but at the bottom line is the rational human being not upset about that. I don't want to dive in anybody's life. I don't want to say you shouldn't be, because maybe he had a rough childhood where ranch was hard to come by. I don't know. And so again, I'm making light of it. I'm trying not to make fun. I don't know the man's story. I just find it humorous if I boil it down to 2 human beings. One is upset about ranch, one is not. Obviously, one is not. You're not supposed to be upset about the ranch. It's just
Isn't it just fascinating, though, to how people think?
Because
I like to think that I'm very easygoing. And I've had other people tell me that, like, oh, you're really easygoing. Or what does it look like when you get upset? Because I've never seen you get upset.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, when it comes to those things, it's just interesting to me to try to think, okay, how do I think like this person?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same way, like, if I see stuff, like I said, with, like, Facebook rants. Like, if I see a comment section, I think, okay, how do you get to the point where you think, like, this past week I saw these two people arguing about race, and both of them were just very far on each side. Like,
right.
One person was just very much like, it was almost like, if you're not white, then you're kind of like a little stupid, or you need to upset because, like, things like racism doesn't exist, or it's, you know what I mean? But on the other side, it was kind of like, if you are white, you're probably a bad person. So it's just like both sides were...
both are wrong.
And it just got to the point where they just kept on sending, like, memes at each other. And I'm like, at that point, how do you think that you're going to look at this person who is not even in the middle of the situation, but, like, is on the opposite side of you.
Right.
And you think that I'm going to send this meme, and they're going to think, you're right. Like, they do have a point. Or how...
Yeah.
And it's just... It was fascinating to try to think, okay, how do you get to that point where you're like, this is, like, this subject that I think is very important. Because both of them, you could tell, they were like I put thought into what I believe. And it was just interesting to think, like the wrench guy, like, that's where you draw the line.
Yeah.
Like, that's the issue where you can't hold your tongue.
Exactly. I think it's absolutely hilarious to think about, and interesting to think about the hills that people do choose to die on. Like, I'll let a lot of things go, but I draw the line at the wrench. Or I'll let a lot of things go, but when you send me a meme, I'm sending one back. But that is interesting. I hope you've enjoyed this episode where we're just kind of shooting the breeze, enjoying some French fries, chatting like buds. I hope that you viewers out there, please let us know if this is something you like. If you like just us talking, if you like watching us just doing our thing, eating some grub, talking about guys at work,
talking shop, talking tank.
That's right, talking tank, talking media, talking network. If you like that, let us know. Leave us a comment. If you don't, let us know and leave us a comment. You got anything else for us, Brandon?
If you want to see us eat more French fries, send us gift cards.
Yeah, please do, because French fries are more expensive than I used to think.
Also, Taco Bell is very cheap, so if you want to see us eat 100 burritos. Yes,
we love Taco Bell. But, I mean, other than that, I think I'm good to go. So, we thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end of this 24-minute video, kudos to you. You must really like us. So, don't hesitate to hit that sub button. We'll see you next time when we go elbow deep into the fry heap. This has been Tank Talks. I'm Keith.
I'm Brandon.
Bye-bye.